Okay, this is the deal presentation part of our meeting. Okay, if you have a deal you'd like to present for sale.
Silence, Bob is talking.
Okay, this is the deal presentation part.
It is a bunch of people waiting to get in, waiting to get their name badge still. It's backed up still past the bar. I don't know what you want to do about that, but I'm sure they would rather be in here than out there. Including but not limited to Mike Green.
Mike Green?
Councilman and driver Mike Green.
Yeah, well, he has a technology.
I just letting you know. You know about him, that's fine with me. I'm in here.
Needs more chairs.
Okay, deal presentation time. Does anyone have any deals they'd like to sell? Maybe tell us what you're looking for, or maybe some success stories. If you brag about your deals, you'll see a lot more deals come your way for someone. That's how the universe works. Anyone have any deals?
I have a deal. And no, I did not bring a flyer, Bob. I'm sorry.
Okay, Brianna, come on up.
My name is Brianna Davey. I have a deal. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, about 1,400 square feet, a little bit more. It's right off of Piney Grove Road, 309 Piney Grove Road. 100,000, our best offer. Just offer me something, and yeah, it's in pretty good condition. Doesn't need a lot of work. It's pretty much moving ready. So it's already updated. Yeah, I do have it.
Okay, Brianna's a player. She brings good deals to the table. So.
What was the address again?
309 Piney Grove Road. 309 Piney Grove Road. 100,000. 3-bedroom, 2-bath. And like I said, it's already really been updated. The cabinets are really nice. Countertops, paint looks good and stuff.
Can everyone see that contact information?
It's been extended. Yep. All right.
Okay.
Thank you, y'all.
Okay, is there anyone else who would like to present a deal for sale or tell us about it? Okay. Actually, it's okay.
Alright. Good evening. My name is Crandon. I have a couple of deals for sale. So I'm gonna present one of my mentees. He's not gonna be here today, but he asked me to present his house today. House is on 1603 Sigma Court. Oh, there we go.
Is this working any better?
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, this is not.
So there you go. Alright, it's 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, 1,000 square feet. It's in really good condition. Does need some cosmetic work on the inside, nothing really major. So you're looking at probably about 15 in repairs. ARV is roughly between 95 and 100 in that area. Jay is asking 51 for the house, and all his contact information is there. You can always contact me as well, because matter of fact, the deal I'm presenting is something we're partnering on as well on the other house. Once again, that address is 1603 Sigma Court. That's in 29223. If you need any additional information, I'll be more than happy. Catch me at the end, and I'll be able to shoot you all the information necessary. Unfortunately, Jay could not be here. He's a little bit under the weather right now. So I'm down out of the way.
Can everyone see the screen okay?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Is that legible?
Okay, well, I do have flyers to hand out. I think I've got like 20 of them, so. So while Bob's getting that ready, it's 2 properties. They're right next door to each other. They're in Chapin. They're about a half a mile from Chapin High. You're less than a quarter mile from downtown Chapin, where they built the Publix. You're literally walking distance between to both of them. There's a double wide on the property. It's a 3-2. Is that better? 1,500 square feet. The double wide itself needs a roof. We did have Eddie actually walk through the house with us. It needs about 20 repairs in really good condition. Double wide's built in 1999. The house does have, and then on the other side of the property, which is the larger portion, because it's about 2 acres. The other side of the property is 1¼ acre. It's got a house, 900 square feet. It's got a 900 square foot workshop in the back. The land, pretty much that whole acre is cleared. That one definitely needs some work, and you're looking at really good comps because you're talking about Chapin, and that side of Chapin, you're not getting there's nothing for sale that close to the high school. At this point in time, we're asking $125 for the 2. If you look at them and you want one of them, we're willing to sell the property separate as well. Check it out. I got, like I said, I have flyers and all my information's on there. I have pictures and I have all the necessary comps and everything. So that's what I have. I'll leave it to you.
Okay, is there anyone else with a deal they'd like? Oh, come on up.
All right, can everyone hear me okay?
Sure.
Great, I have this fantastic little house. So I haven't seen the inside of it yet. I'm gonna get pictures of the inside on Monday. It is a house in North Augusta. I don't know if y'all do anything in North Augusta, but it's a super hot area because the military base in Augusta is adding an entire cyber center, so everything is just blowing up over there. This house, I've got pictures of the outside, and it is so it's a right now it's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house. It is 1,397 square feet. Of that 1,397 square feet, there's this room that you can see right kind of off the side here. This big room right here. It's long and it goes back. It's a 600 square foot room that's not being used for anything. I'm pretty sure I heard that it's just down to the bones. So it has potential to be a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, which would increase the value of the house quite substantially. It's in a really nice area in North Augusta. It's only about 5 minutes from where I live. It's on the market right now for $29,000. What I do know about it is that the bathroom has been renovated. It's got some new carpet in it, but a lot of it needs to be updated. There are no leaks. There are renters that live there right now. They're going to be moving out, so it's totally habitable. Just going to need some renovations. So my number, if anyone wants to talk with me about it, it's my name is Dawn Adams, by the way. My number is 803-221-DAWN, D-A-W-N, which turns into a 9. What is it? I had to do Dawn so I could remember it. 3296. I also have another one that's coming on the market, but we don't really have any information about it yet, except that it's in Monetta, which is where the Big Mo movie theater is. It's a 2,400 square foot log cabin. It was built in 2001. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath on 24 acres. And yeah, and it's going to be probably right around 150. So that's what I got. All right. Thank you. In that area.
Okay, is there anyone else with a... Come on up.
All right, good evening, everybody. Name's Asa. I have a deal right now in Granville, South Carolina. It's roughly 5 minutes from I-20, near the Bridgestone, the Detroit Diesel, and Kimberly Clark. So the old Townsend Swint work area, if you're familiar with the CSRA. Asking $44,400 for it, or highest and best offer. It is a 1371 square foot home, 3 bed, 1 bath, sits on an acre. It also has a detached 3 bay, 1700 square foot body shop in the back with separate access. So the gentleman that my seller here used to be a paint and body guy. So he lived in the house, worked in the back pretty much. Moved out a few years ago and began renting it in the condition it was renting up until 2 years ago, similar to this, as is, about for $650. Some repairs get you about $850. I will say Bridgestone is probably one of the largest employers in the area. Detroit Diesel. I mean, it's really growing. The young lady that was just before me is similar to close to North Augusta, roughly about. It's in Aiken County, the same county, roughly about 15 minutes. I do have some more photos. Let's see. So that's just kind of the side view. It does need some repairs. Will need a roof. This bushy area here is like the tree line that separates the house from the body shop in the back. If you're interested, I can send you a link to actually view the photos a lot larger, more clarity there. But this is the kitchen here. It's a space. So from the kitchen, you can enter into this room this way, from the front of the house or from the back of the house, which is that small area in the back there that they closed in to make like a laundry room. So, see the roof damage here, we'll be upfront about it. It's going to need one. So, but again, this is for an investor who looks for a long-term rental in the area, possibly to flip and sell, if need be. The tenant that was there was a brother-in-law, and I don't know if they got along, so he didn't tell him that his roof was leaking. He just left. So, like the hell, drew him out. And so, it's in the main damage for the roof or from the leak is in the same room. But of course, you know, you would have to take a look at it. The bathroom is a 1 bath. So it will need some attention. Again, it's $44,400 or highest the best offer. The AC units or the furnace was replaced in 2012. It's still pretty new. When I was there a couple weeks ago, turned on the AC, worked fine. And this is the body shop in the back. Thing is, the seller would like about 70 to 90 days to close, pretty much, because in this body shop is where he still houses a lot of cars. I mean, hot rods. So I mean, he's looking for space to put them before he says, "Let's go." But so whoever the buyer is, just keep that in mind. We're looking tentative the 2nd week in August to close. So as a buyer, that may not be a bad idea for yourself anyway. Give yourself some time. That is the separate access road there, and just the back of the house, a little damage on the siding there. But I have a street view just to show you the neighbor's yard. So right across the street, this is the neighbor's yard. Their house appraised for $138. It's a 3-2 versus the 3-1 across the street, and just kind of the layout of the home there. The street area, so every lot around there is very large. So if you're interested there, I have some flyers with my contact information, get a card. Also, I have a 3-2, 1,400 square foot home in Candlewood. Under contract, this is sub 2. I'm just asking for down payment plus you actually be taking over the mortgage, or you can pay it off. The mortgage is balance is $76,000. Asking for $5,000 down. So it's an owner finance and fix up. Probably needs about 15, didn't work. They replaced the roof, but they replaced the roof back in 2014, but never painted the inside of the roof, so it still has stains. But it's going through title search right now. Came back clear today, so I didn't get a chance to have photos, but I will have them if you need it. Well, when you need it, just give me your email, and I'll make sure I send it over to you first thing in the morning. Mortgage payments on that is $870. $870. So.
What area is that in?
Northeast
Yes, 29223.
It's like right at the corner of Harbison and
Yeah.
Clemson.
Yes,
Not Harbison, Hardscrabble and Clemson.
Yeah. Say it again? Yeah, address 321 Seton Hall Drive. All right. Also, I have a deal in Camden. We going through title right now. It seems like it's going to work out pretty fine, but it's going to need some work. It's an older style craftsman home. It's a 2-1, but the foyer is probably about from that wall to this wall. All right, so it's going to need a full gut, but it's the ideal remodel. Going to ask 18 for that. It is approximately 1,700 square feet, and the address on that is 806 Chestnut. That's CHESNUT Street in Camden, South Carolina. So a lot of things came through today, so I don't have pictures for them per se, but it's going to need some work. I have more on my laptop that I will be able to send to you whenever. So. All right, so make sure you see me, get my information, a card tonight, and text me your email address. I have an email out to you. It may come at 12 o'clock at night or 3 o'clock in the morning, but you'll have it before you wake up. So, all right.
Okay, is there anyone else with a deal they'd like to present for sale, or tell us what you're looking for, or maybe a success story they want to brag about?
Hey, my name is Kim. So this is my first time here. My husband and I have Rise and Shine Properties, and we are currently rehabbing a home at Forest Acres. It will be for sale in August. We have one that's about a mile from there, also in Forest Acres, that we are closing on 2 weeks from today. And if anyone is interested, I do have about $34,000 if anybody is interested in making some interest, 10% interest on that. I can work with you. I do have a couple people who are already interested, in that, and was told today that's probably happening with somebody, but should it not happen, if anybody here tonight wants to do it, just let me know. But we have a home in Myrtle Beach that we have made an offer on that I'll probably know about that tonight or tomorrow. So again, if you're interested in making some money on that, love to have money from anybody who wants to. We've got another house that I looked at today that we'll probably be making an offer on tomorrow. That's also in Forest Acres. So again, money that you guys can make. That's what I'm looking for. Not looking to sell anything. I will be selling our homes once they're finished. But if you guys just want to make some money, make some interest, we've got it for you. So I sure do. If anybody else is interested, I can give you a card.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone else with a deal they'd like to present?
Sorry, I don't have a deal at the moment, but I'm looking for as many as possible. My name is David Thompson, and I'm looking to buy anything that I need at least a little bit of rehab on. I'm not looking for any turnkeys, but anything that would be good for a flip or a rental, I'm open. So if you got them, sign me up for your list. I have a limited amount of cards that I'll be handing out as soon as this is done.
Okay, is there anyone else with a deal they'd like to present for sale? Come on up.
I already blocked all the fire exits. Is anyone a fire marshal in here? Introduce you to the hotel manager.
I'm a fire boy. How are you?
Sorry, it's a journey from the back door. Hi, for those who don't know me yet, I'm Stacy Pinckney. Miss Valerie and I'm originally from Orangeburg. Valerie is in Orangeburg, and we've been partnering up on some things down there. We actually have a multi-family portfolio coming available, duplexes, triplexes, quads, and there's actually 12 town homes in there. And it's also a commercial property down there on 5 acres that can be developed, but also they currently have, they're rented. Everything is pretty much fully occupied. We don't have flyers or information, but I'm up here right now to find out who's interested in that type of package. We can collect your information, and once we get everything finalized, we can just shoot it out to anybody who's interested in those types of things. Valerie, I'm here to praise her because she has been working hard. Y'all know I always have a little blurb about the REIA and working with people and any newcomers, new wholesalers. Valerie's a good example. She's been out there hitting the bricks, driving for dollars. You want to tell them about how you found the lead and how we got to this point?
Actually, one of the leads was just driving by. I'm always in town, and I saw one of the sign on the lawn.
For sale by owner.
For sale by owner. And that's what led to the others. They actually opened themselves up to present their other properties. And that was for both of the deals. We say deals, those two people that we're dealing with, that they're actually sharing other properties and a lot of the rentals as well.
Yeah, so she was driving for dollars, found a for sale by owner. She went out, met the seller. You got to get in front of people, talk to people. This is a contact sport. All of this behind the computers is not going to get it done. People like to know you're legit and that you're a real person. She got out there, met with the seller. She asked about one house. He opened up a portfolio of over 20 properties to us. So that's just to let y'all know the opportunities are out there. It doesn't take all types of money. We linked up because she's still learning. I'm still learning. So I'm even calling in some of the heavy hitters I know from the commercial real estate agency I used to work for. So anyway, it's all about networking, connecting, work together, get deals done, and you'll be surprised how much you learn. My forever partner in the back, Dean Louise, we're still going through some things, but we're hanging in there, and it's all because of this group and just working together. Be open, don't be greedy, you can get more done. Thank you. I have more cards, and Valerie will be around, so just if you're interested, just let us know. We'll shoot you an email once everything gets finalized, and we'll try to move these properties.
Thank you.
Okay, is there anyone else with a property they'd like to present for sale, or maybe tell us what you're looking for, maybe a deal that you've done you'd like to brag about? Anyone?
So this month, I'm back again. So this month we actually closed 2 deals this month. Actually, I have to give a thank you to Rich, because up until last month I didn't understand how to do subject twos. Call Bob. Bob actually gave me a one-on-one class to do subject twos, and I just so happened to fall in one thanks to Steve Tackett in the back. I knocked on the door, the guy called Steve back. Steve called me and said, "Hey, Crank, you want this?" And I'm like, "Sure." So I went and took it. I didn't know what to do, so I called Rich, because the guy actually called the bank and said, "Hey, bank, can somebody take over my payments?" The bank told him no. That means that I can't do the deal. Call Rich. Rich, how can I get it done? Rich must have talked to him, because all of a sudden he circled back around and said, "Let's go." So I actually just closed that. So I actually am a homeowner, first time homeowner. Didn't cost me any money at all. I say this to all the new people who are actually getting in this. I've started this last year. I have not needed another job. I've had my business for a year, and I've been able to live off my business, and that's it. Secondly, like I said, I didn't think I'd be able to get a home because I don't have that type of money set up just yet. But now I'm about to move into my first house within 2 weeks, and I didn't have to put anything down but pay Rich my closing costs. So if anybody tells you it's not possible, they don't understand. Coming here, everything that I just got finished telling you, I got done by meeting people in here, and they've actually helped me in every step of the way. The other house that we closed on in Forest Acres, I did everything. Everybody that I worked with, I met in here. So I only say that to say you can do it. I'm living proof. So.
What's up? I'm JD with Midstate Properties. that case, we have 2 seats available right here. Mike would love to stand. And if you need a ride home, give Mike a call. He loves giving people rides. If you find any homeless people outside, he loves giving them rides, and he's a very, very generous guy. So just ask him. He loves people asking him for money too. So just hit Mike up. There really are seats. There's a seat here. There's a seat there. There's 2 seats on that road, like people can move if somebody's like a couple. And you know, this is a good time while I'm talking. You don't really have to listen. You can put your butt in somebody else's face. It's good fun. But there are a lot of people here. Thanks for being patient as we got the name badges. They're pretty cool. I don't have one, so don't look at mine, but just, my name's JD. It's not hard, like John Deere, right? We buy houses. We generally rehab. That's most of our business is rehabs. We have a bunch of them. Don't ask me how many because I got to count them up. I think I counted 7 earlier. I don't know. Just don't tell the lenders that I don't know how many houses we have, even though they're all in here. And like the other guy said, I did meet pretty much everybody and everything I know about real estate investing from the REIA, so I do love the REIA and I really appreciate Bob. I haven't been here for a couple months. If you have been here the last couple months, I was busy. I helped make this guy right here. I didn't have to like deliver him. I mean, almost. Anyway, second babies come quicker. In case you guys haven't had more than 1 kid, like I had a few months ago. Anyway, you're gonna want to leave for the hospital a little earlier, so you don't have to have them almost in front of Lexington Medical Center. Anyway, I usually share a contact of mine that I think that people would appreciate, and generally the other people appreciate it too. So this one, I was totally confused. You guys know what Subject To is. If you don't, you can ask Kubronia or ask Bob. He loves Subject To, and I didn't know. It's basically where you take over payments on a house, kind of like people take over payments on a car. And can you read that? No?
Lenora.
How about that? Right? Stacy knows about Lenora. Yeah, see, I hooked them up because to me, everybody wanted to tell me about how the deal works and what a Subject To was and all this stuff. And it was really pissing me off because they didn't tell me the most important part is how you actually do it.
How you gonna win out?
Can you read
Y'all gotta be quick.
Read the number out.
Okay.
Read that number.
480. She's gonna kill me because this is her cell phone number again. 285-4808. I don't bend over good. It's one of the many things I'm not good at.
Say the number again, JD.
480-285-4808. She works, it's not just a lady, she's just my contact lady over there. Because she's the one that heads up all of the owner finance stuff. And she does what they call wraps, which is like a sub-2. Like, you don't just own the house cash. There's an existing mortgage in place. So between her and Rich Bolin, you guys got it all? Or do I need to refresh the thing? But between her and Rich Bolin is how I figured out how to actually actually do a sub-2. I understood what it was and how it works and all that from Bob, how to put the deal together and stuff, and from the REIA, because Bob will speak at the REIA periodically and tell you about sub-2. And but Rich does it's real easy. You want to know how to do a sub-2? You find somebody that wants you to take over their payment, and then you call Rich. And then you call Lenora, and then you tell Lenora to talk to Richard's assistant.
Yeah.
And they do it. So Lenora will give you a packet that you got to have them fill out at closing, and the seller and the buyer, everybody fills out the stuff. It's pretty simple.
JD, you didn't say
at that
who
point.
Lenora is. I don't even know who Lenora is or what she does.
She works at Loan Care.
Is she the one that does the
She's the lady you don't like, but don't say that to everybody else.
Payment processing?
She does payment processing. So it's up to you. When you owner finance a house out, they pay you a payment, and then you pay the first mortgage, right? Well, that's not entirely true. So Lenora collects my payment from my new owner. So they pay her via the internet, one of their many phone systems. They can deposit it in Bank of America drive-through and then like Snapchat a photo over to Lenora and she puts it in. I'm being serious. And they pay her. She pays the first mortgage. Keep in mind, I haven't done anything besides manufacture the deal one time. And then Lenora cuts me my profit, and I get a check in the mail. She actually wires it, so it just shows up, and then she sends me like a receipt. Like it looks like a check. It says this is not a check, and you're like, this is trash, but it's not a check because we have the internet, right? So she sends me money every month, and then it goes in my bank account, and then we don't know what happens after that because it just disappears.
And she does your escrow, right?
She does all my escrows and everything. That's an extra fee. But like in my case, the escrows were technically in the first mortgage. The taxes and insurance were already in the first mortgage. So she really just has to pay the first mortgage, and then they pay the escrows.
In that one, but she will do.
Yeah, she will do escrows if you like own the house straight up. If there aren't escrows already, she'll make escrows means the taxes and insurance. So she's the key so that you don't have to. I don't know if you guys are keeping track. If you've studied real estate investing at all, and you're like, so they pay me, and then I do this complex math equation and punch it in somewhere on some sort of bigger pockets calculator that I got to pay for all of a sudden, and then I got to pay this guy and pay this guy. I'm like, that sounds like a job to me. It sounds like a job, and I didn't particularly start a business because I wanted a job. I would have just got a job. I don't do good with that. I'm not good with details. So she's good with details. That's what they do. So it's a really valuable thing. To me, it was like the key. And they do operate in South Carolina. They're the only ones that I found that operate in South Carolina. That's a larger company. That's a nationwide company. So just like with your mortgage, when you call BB&T, Lenora's company actually does a lot of stuff for a lot of bigger banks and a lot of regional banks. It's the full-blown, you know, we need your social security number. You call in, you get the phone prompt, the whole deal. But Lenora's a real human that specifically deals with what we do, investors. And she's very familiar with what we do. And once you get it set up, it just kind of rolls. Also, if your people are late, they charge them a late fee, which is cool. So you don't have to, they do. You can add money to the late fee, which is cool. And they'll send you a notification as well. So like if your person's late, they send out them a late notice and you a late notice at the same time that says that they were late. So now you wonder about how to hassle them. And they document everything. So in the case that they are non-performing, they're not paying, they already have all the documentation, so now I take that documentation, take it back to Rich and say, hey Rich, what do I do? Which happens all the time. So anyway, but we buy houses all over. We'll pretty much buy whatever house. It just depends. You know, your price has to be adequate. We buy at 70%, so that's going to be what it's going to be worth when it's done, times 0.7, and then minus the repair. So we're going to be all in at 70%, however you want to word that. That's where we buy it. We're happy to buy it there. I don't care if you bought it for $1. I'll pay you 70% of the ARV minus repair. It doesn't matter to me. We've paid some really, really strong wholesale fees to people in this room. We do also, you may see Midstate Properties and me advertise other properties for sale. Well, we can only rehab so many properties at a time. It's a decent amount of properties, but we do wholesale the extra ones. And if I happen to buy 4 houses here and I have another one over here that comes up, I'll wholesale it just because it's a pain for me to drive back and forth to check on them. I would rather check on them all over here. Obviously, this area is being good to me, so I'll just kind of do my thing there before I move to a different area. So there's different reasons. Everybody always asks, why do you wholesale properties if you buy them all? Well, that's why. I mean, it's pretty common sense. But anyway, my phone number is 803-PARTY98. I love it. Everybody's heads go down and then they look back up going, what the hell is he talking about? We haven't had numbers on our phone or letters on our phone for a long time. It's 727-8998. It truly does spell Party 98. It's not a lie. It's the truth. So anyway, give us a call if you need anything. If you got deals, run them by us. I have been a little bit out of touch because I really do have a newborn at home. And I've been back for a few weeks, and I've been seeing the emails that you guys are sending and stuff, but I'm usually very communicative, and I have been less communicative the last few months, as you can understand, because it's just hard to answer the phone when a baby's screaming in your face. So. Anyway, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Okay, thank you, JD. Is there anyone else with a maybe deal or talk what you want or something like that, or a success story?
Yes, my name is Jackson. Yes, Jackson LC. It's the first time here.
I can't hear you last.
And pretty much I apologize because I don't have a deal to offer y'all right now.
Okay.
I apologize, but I would just like to bring to your attention that I am an ex-commercial fisherman, so I'm pretty much owing to it. And I'll have next time I'll be here, I'll have a few deals in hands, and y'all can count on me.
You got one?
I got for those that get badges that came in as guests, and I got some of them printed. So Keith Woodard, okay,
Get your
and Siv and Faylene Brown, okay, and Jay Monroe. Right here. Okay. And I'll be doing that a couple times as we get more printed.
Okay, is that pretty much it for the deals then? Okay, oh, do you have one?
Sorry, can I stand here? Can everybody hear me?
No.
I'm very soft spoken, so. My name is Ebony Thompson. We spoke, I know. I do have a deal, but it's not ready yet. I just got the paperwork signed today. So it's a house in 5 Points. It used to be a duplex. They kind of halfway changed it into a single family. I know how that goes. But if anybody's interested in that area, my phone number is 803-226-7576. And I'll send, just shoot me a message, let me know that you're interested, and I'll send all of the details over to you.
7576?
7576. 226-7576. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Ebony. Okay, is that it for the deals then, or? Okay, for those, Rich Bolin has been referenced several times. He's the only attorney I trust up here in the Midlands, okay? He's actually going to speak next month. Okay, so I always learn something from Rich.
What? If you don't mind, have them contact you with issues or subjects they want me to address.
Okay. Yeah, we'll send out a poll and see what. Rich is actually a master at keeping our creative deals legal. So somebody you definitely want to take your deals to. Now, also, we have a special guest from Tampa in the back. I've got some of my best creative ideas from him. His name's Kevin Kolinsky, and he actually he runs one of the best real estate online forums. Everyone says Bigger Pockets. It's on Reddit. Okay, this gentleman right here runs it. Kevin's offered to stay behind and offer his expertise for if you want to talk after the meeting, you have a deal you want to kick back with him, But I appreciate that.
Bob, can I throw something out really quick?
Yeah.
First, I usually sit quietly in REIAs when I actually attend them. I don't like REIAs at all for the most part. You guys are extremely fortunate already. Just in this room, there's a lot of people who are going to tell you they're gurus or experts in this business and then try and get you to pay thousands of dollars for nonsense. The best people in this business will always share their information for free because they understand that having allies is more important than anything else. And how I was taught to do real estate, I'm a buy and hold investor, but I don't use cash, I don't use institutional lending, I do structured deals. And to give you an example of that is the gentleman who pitched the house, the 3-1 house with the 3 carports in the back. It's like, oh, that's interesting. And then when he said, well, the seller doesn't want to sell for 90 days because he has to find a place to put his cars, my mind instantly goes to, okay, who here would buy that house if you don't have the $44,000? Someone just raise your hand and pretend to make me happy. Okay, thank you. The first thing my mind would do, I'd find a lady with $34,000 and have her commit to that. Next, I'd find someone with another $10,000 in the room and wrap that for the $44,000, 12%, 10% spread there. Now you've got $440 a month payment. You go back to the guy you're buying the house from, who now is $44,000 from selling, and you lease him back his shed for 3 months to a year. So you've got $200 a month, for instance, offsetting the $440 you're paying, or you're rehabbing either for a flip, or you're rehabbing it for to refinance. And when you have a room like this, where there's actual people where you're doing business with, real estate investing on a micro level. I've done apartment complexes, and it doesn't interest me. I don't like them, I don't care. You may like them, that's fantastic. I like single family homes, I like structured deals, I like dealing with real people. In a room such as this, if everybody will share, if you say, willing to put out there, even if you're embarrassed, I have $100 in my IRA, I have $100 in my pocket, I don't know how to do this deal, can someone help me? If you share in a room like this, first of all, if you do business with integrity and ethically, you stick with it, you will find success. Also, conversely, If you try and screw people in a room like this, you will ruin your reputation forever. You will never get it back. You guys cannot even begin to understand how many terrible real estate meetings I sit in. I don't like being pointed out. That's most people don't even know me where I live in my own city. I just spend time with a bunch of old people who've been doing this for 50 years. My wife thought I didn't know anybody under 55 when we first met. But long story short is, I'm here because Bob's a friend. I'm sorry, I've only got 3 hours of sleep in the last 24 hours, so driving down from New Hampshire to Tampa. But I'm happy to sit, and if you want to hear my highly biased perspective on real estate after the meeting, I'm happy to share with you guys, whether you're talking about subject twos, leases, options, master leases, leases with option to purchase. I've done a fair amount of all those transactions. And if I could do one more ad, was it Miss Valerie? Was there a lady named Miss Valerie who was up here? There she is. She mentioned, speaking to us, one of the most important questions you can ask when you're sitting down with someone is, do you have any additional properties? It's wonderful that she did that. There are so many people, it'll blow your mind, who own more than one property, whether it's inheritance, whether they just own properties for a long time, whether they're a terrible landlord and don't know what to do, but somehow they got 2, 3, 4, 10 properties. And even better when they're an idiot and keeping their own names instead of putting in a trust or something like that. Always ask if they have additional properties, and next, ask them to rank them from their favorite to their least favorite. And if you can't get the favorite, then pick off the least favorite property. Start the relationship, because eventually there's a chance that if you can do one deal with someone and they have the opportunity to do other deals, as you develop trust, as you build a relationship, as you create an ally over time, you'll have the opportunity before anybody else to make acquisitions somewhere else that they have. So sorry for hijacking.
No, it's all right. I appreciate it. I appreciate that. Yeah, Kevin has learned from what I consider the masters, and he's become one himself. So if you can stick around after the meeting, that's great. If you can't, obviously you're a little late, so I understand that as well. Okay, if it's okay, unless anyone has any other deals, and I'm going to buzz through the intro real quick, because we got to get Eddie up here. We've got a lot of information. Is everyone okay? No deals? Okay. Okay, there's several REIAs in the area which I do encourage you to check out. We're, of course, the Midlands REIA. Okay. I hope if I put a little dongle in. Oh, give me a break. See my smiley face. Okay, we are the Midlands REIA. We meet every second Thursday of the month. Okay, now if you could, I had to put this slide back in because a couple months ago we had a record number of cell phones go off. Now, if your phone goes off, we do have to charge you $5 that goes into our oops jar, which Dean Louise is holding back there. At the end of the year, it all goes to charity, specifically something called the Palmetto Civic Tank, which we'll cover later. You may get your picture and or video taken here, if that's okay. It's usually just like for a post on social media or something. Liability disclosure, anything you hear at this meeting, except with the exception of our attorney, Rich Boland, okay, it's just personal experience. Okay, if you need true legal or financial help, Rich is the guy to see because he's licensed and trained to, basically take us through stuff like that. Okay, as I mentioned before at the beginning of the year, I'm going to keep showing this slide. The national success rate, the gurus don't tell you this, is, and I've heard this term as a general consensus, is only 3% that people get into this business the way we do. Only 3% ever even do a single deal. Okay, our goal is hopefully by the end of the year to have at least 20% or more do deals. Okay, I think we're pretty well on our way. I think a good number of people here have done deals now. Okay, and how we offer an abundance of resources. Hopefully we provide great networking. We give the best training possible, and of course we have suggestions. We're always open. We're always seeking to improve and adapt, and we want to learn and teach the best localized practices. Okay, we're not going to teach you something that works in, like, say, Hawaii. Okay, this is specific to South Carolina, the Midlands. Okay. Annual members get discounts from national vendors and supply houses, discounts on Midlands REIA trainings and workshops, etc., etc. no door fee to general meetings. Now, one thing several people have been asking us about is a cash buyers list, a local cash buyers list, okay? And the login, let me show, oh yeah, okay, we're always asking for ways to improve. Okay, if nothing else, we're on social media, if nothing else, go to this link here and join our Money Mastermind group, okay? There's no cost to join, and there's a lot of deal flipping going on there, all right? Does everyone have that? By the way, I don't mind if you take pictures of the slides. I'm sure Eddie doesn't either. Okay, as I mentioned before, I'm always getting, you want me to back up, Freddie?
Yes, please.
Okay. How's that?
Thanks.
Okay?
Appreciate it.
Okay, we okay? Yeah. Okay, as I mentioned before, when you log into the site, okay, there's a local cash buyers list with the phone numbers, okay? Now, I do have to revise that a little bit. I was told by David back there that a few have dropped off. I need to drop those off and add a few who are coming to the scene, okay? But they're approximately 50, give or take, okay? Their phone numbers as well. So if you get a deal, just start going down the list and making phone calls. Yearly membership is $125 a year for a single, $200 for a couple. If you're not an annual member, first-time visitors are free. After that's $20 at the door, okay? Okay, a few announcements. Okay, Dean Louise, can you talk about your book corner as well as Civitan? Okay, this is really the organization behind the association's Dean Louise. Without Dean Louise taking control of a lot of this, this would be like a big dust cloud with arms and legs sticking out of it. So.
First off, I want to thank you all for your patience. This is a record number of people. My computer just could not keep up, and I apologize, but thank you for your patience. This book, Do It Scared, is an awesome book. I've been listening to it on audio whenever I'm in the car, and if you are having trouble, you're not sure why, but it's just not working, try reading this. You might have some fears that you didn't realize. If you know you're afraid, you're doing the questions, well, what if this happens? What if that happens? You need to read this book. If that's what's keeping you from getting a deal, you need to read this book. It is awesome. And I own the e-version, and I also have been listening to the audio version on Script, and it's great. So you've got to read that. Next slide. Okay. Palmetto Civitan. This is an organization that is helping families who have disabled, specifically autism, Downs, those kinds of disabilities. Actually, any kind of special needs. It can be children or adults. And what we are trying to do is right now our major project is to open up an after-school / daycare where the special needs children will be interacting with regularly developed children. And that way building their social skills in that way, and also showing the regular children, or normal, I can't remember the phrase.
Just say
well, yeah, thank you. Showing them that they're regular people just like everybody else, okay? We are raising money to open a program. We are in the process of finding a location, and we will be hiring special people for the instructors and counselors and therapy aides and all of that. We have meetings twice a month. They are the first and third Tuesdays from 6 to 7:30. They are currently being held at Red Bull. Check the Facebook page, group page, to find out the location, because we do change locations periodically. It gets tiring going to the same restaurant all the time. So right now we're at Red Bull in Lexington, but it's the first and third Tuesdays. And go to Facebook and just Google Palmetto Civitan Club. It's a group page. And oh yes, And we've started the Sharing Heart Special Needs Support Group. It is for the caregivers or family members. It can be the grandparents who don't necessarily have direct care of the special needs child. It could be parents of an adult special needs person, okay? We are providing a support group for anybody who has anything to do with a special needs person. It will meet monthly. The next meeting is Wednesday, June 19th, that's next Wednesday, at the Second Wave Coffee and Books in Lexington. And they will be meeting from 9 to 10 a.m. And if you have any questions, you can contact Terry Washburn at her phone number or her email address. Is that it?
Anyways, what organization is Civitan working with?
Civitan International.
No, what other organization are they working with? Where are the special
Arc of
needs
the
kids coming
Midlands.
from?
Oh, okay. Yeah, Arc of the Midlands. The special needs kids they're just, some of them are in public school, some of them are homeschool, some of them are with the school. Autism Academy. So, and some of the special need kids are mainstreamed in public schools or in private schools. We're just trying to provide another source because there is not an after-school program geared towards special needs children, and they have special needs. So, thank you. Good question.
Okay, Mike Green Technology minute for this month is Scotsman Guide. Okay, I'm sure for those, this is really meant for mortgage loan originators, but as investors and potential borrowers, these are a great set of magazine subscriptions to get. I suggest you get on them, but keep in mind also with the state of the economy with regards to mortgage lending. They have residential and commercial editions. I suggest you get both. Online lender searches, it's free. Price is right, free 90 free. Now beware of scams, okay? Just because it's in a magazine doesn't mean they're legit. Okay, be sure to do your due diligence on whoever advertises their services in this. Okay. Oh, you know? Is that Teresa?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, now, there's a relatively new group that came on the scene. I'd like to announce maybe their meeting. They have a meeting this coming Saturday. Stacy Pinkman is one of the organizers. Can you say something about that?
We are trying to get a women in real estate group established here locally in Columbia. The organizer, the originator, I suppose, is originally, she's a cash buyer in the Charlotte, Rock Hill area, and she wants to build more groups in different places around South Carolina. So we met a couple of times. I went up to their Greenville, Spartanburg chapter meeting, and they want to get one established and really going here in Columbia. So we're just really trying to open it up to women interested in real estate. We're welcoming newbies, anybody experienced, anybody who's thinking about it. Any women that's interested in joining us is free. We'll be at the Legacy Caribbean Bar and Grill on Saturday from 5 to 7. It's all about just helping each other, sharing information. This upcoming meeting is going to be an open forum where we're just going to talk about what you're experiencing, what you've done, what you haven't done. We're really just going to try to help people get more deals done, and it's just total support. No fees, no anything. So any women and gentlemen, extended to the women in your family if they're interested as well. Just invite them out, and we'd love to have them. But I'm hosting it. I'll be hosting it. I wish I could claim it's my meeting. I'm not there yet, but I will be helping to direct it, and I'll definitely be in attendance. So you're welcome to join us, ladies.
Thanks, Stacey. As I mentioned, there's a couple other associations in the area. You should check them all out. Okay. This is one of this is one that I really like, is the Columbia Real Estate Investors Association. They meet every fourth Thursday of the month at Grecian Gardens Restaurant in West Columbia. In fact, one of the organizers, Rick Renner, is sitting in the back there. Okay. Rick often leads conversations in regards to, well, when people bring up, hey, what works in this situation? Rick has the experience to tell you what works and what doesn't work. So,
Without Rick.
thank you, Rick. So next meeting is June 27th, Thursday. Hope to see a bunch of you there, if not everyone. Okay, ladies networking lunch. It's every last Friday of the month. This is now, unlike Wire, this is only for the ladies, I asked. Okay. Deborah Weiner runs that one. It's every last Friday at 1 p.m. at East Bay Deli. Does everyone know what that is? Across from Lexington Medical Center in West Columbia? Okay. It's the next meeting is June 28th, Friday. Okay. Now, coming up June 22nd on the tail end of Eddie's talk here is going to be a half day, approximately a half day, give or take, home inspection and rehab estimating workshop on site. Okay, Eddie's going to take, so we did this last year, and we have to cap it at 15 people. Annual members get first crack at it. Okay, annual members are free. Non-annual members, well, we charge $40 for it. Okay, and that goes directly to Ed, nothing for the association. Okay. If you have questions about details, if you go to midlandsrea.net, that will redirect you to the workshop page. But if you have any questions, contact me or Eddie. Our contact information is up there. Okay? Now, our speaker, Eddie Sabina, has over 20 years as a licensed residential builder and home inspector. He's rehabbed and built from the ground up both residential and commercial buildings. Now, I'm trying something here, okay? Keep your ringers off, but let's try something really quick. We have a quiz, and the winner of the quiz gets a prize. Okay, if you go to kahoot.it, all right, and go ahead and enter that game pin. You got to choose a username. So now we have kids here, so please keep it clean. So now remember, if you put a stupid name, if you win, you have to just tell us who you are. That's on you.
Valerie Bartlett.
Hey, Quinn, was that you, QB?
Jennifer Blakely.
That's too easy.
Tyler Davis. Kim Lawson. Kim Lawson.
Okay, is everyone entered? Everyone wants to play?
Well, I was saying everyone I did. I don't know if
Ninja Brill?
that's why I was saying no, give me a second.
I like your jacket. Okay, is everyone?
Everybody wants to enter their answer, they can't change it.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, once you enter your answer, you can't change it. By the way, this is also time. The quicker you get a right answer, the more points you get. Okay, is everyone entered? Okay.
What do we do?
You'll see. gonna be like multiple choice. Okay, here goes.
How do you know this?
This is gonna be multiple choice. A, B, C, D. There's different shapes. You gotta choose the shape that matches what you think is the right answer. Okay? Okay, ready? Okay, here goes. Okay, I don't use that. It's like mama. Okay, late black mama's in the lead. Next question, please.
Quick.
Don't hold me on there. Hold me on there. Hold me on there. Hey, cold change all the time.
Okay, last question. All right. Here we go. Oops. Oh, this game is fixed.
Bless you.
Where?
Okay, for those who don't know, Jim Everett's actually sitting here. We've been busting on each other the whole time. We've known each other for how long?
Too long.
Yeah. So that's Jim, by the way, and he's not a termite. Okay, let's take a look and see who won. That's okay, Andy. Oh, can we give Andy his prize? I appreciate it. It's just unfortunately we have. Thanks, Andy. Okay, I hope everyone had a little bit of fun with that. Okay, if it's okay, let's let me just shut this down here and thank you, Dean Louise. And let's oops. Let's give Eddie Sabina a big hand. These questions came from Eddie. And all the answers except for the Jim Everett one came from Eddie.
It might be better if you operate the Asian. Can y'all hear me back there?
Yeah.
All right. I have to agree with a lot of the comments that I've heard. This is a community, and in this community we share. If you don't share in this community, you're going to shut yourself out. Because you know as well as I do, we tend to help those that what? Help us. You know? There's a lot of property out there. It ain't me against you, you against. We're a family here and we like to share information. And Bob's big on that. Bob really wants people to succeed like nobody else I've ever seen. And he does much of this at his own expense. He won't tell you that because he's actually a very humble guy. But anyway, I've heard over the years, I've seen 3 different levels here at the same REIA go through 3, and it's the best it's been, man. But there seems to be a problem with contractors. But I say the problem isn't with the contractor. It's with you picking the contractor. You picked the wrong guy. So, you know, we're going to learn about the mind of a contractor and the pitfalls, how to find a good contractor. This is an architectural single, correct? If you're sure, raise your hand. See that? Yeah, it's an architect. I just said it was. Trust me. Okay? Architectural. You see the distinct pattern on the bottom? You ever see a notebook that has tabs on it? That's your 3 tab. Cheap, cheap, cheap shingles. Roofers don't even like these anymore. For a few more dollars, you get this. These are hard to put on. These are easier. So I'm more apt to put them up, if you don't give me a hard time, for about the same price. I'll even split the difference of the material because this is better.
It looks a lot nicer.
Yes, it does. But that's the difference. Go to my next slide. South Carolina Residential Construction Standards. This is a PDF. Go online, get it. If you hire a contractor, first of all, we're going to get into it quite a lot. I'm going to try to get this all to you in 1 hour. You can go to LLR. Somewhere, if you just put in South Carolina Residential Construction Standards, the PDF will pop up. Keep it on your phone. Keep it. It's about, what, 100 pages maybe? But what this book does, it tells you, Jonathan, if you hired me to do a job and you think I did it wrong, you can flip to whatever you want in there, sheetrock, whatever, and it'll tell you what the standard is and how to discern if it's correct. Like sheetrock, it'll say you have to look at it from X amount of feet, you can't use light, you can't see. So you know, you can't say, well, it's a garbage job. What's a garbage job? See, it could be subjective. This book breaks down every category. It comes from the LLR. You must have it in your arsenal. Because if you want to go against me because you think I did bad work, this is going to help you. All right? Attorneys know this book because this is what they use in court. They go by those standards. Enough on that. Got it? Any questions about that one? All right, next, Bob. Vetting contractors. Anybody here have trouble with contractors? You tell the truth. You ever give them too much money and they don't come back? I know some of y'all don't, just kidding. Verify the license. I'm telling you right now, the first thing you have to do, different types of licenses, let me cover that real quick. If I have a specialty license which says I can do painting and sheetrock, do you want me moving load-bearing walls? No. No, I've seen those guys try it. Never ends well. That's where I come in. And by the time I get there, now you got a lot of problems. Make sure that their license equals, I got a license to drive a car, I drive a car. I got a CDL, I drive an 18-wheeler. Same principle. Verify insurance. Why do you want to verify insurance? Heck yeah. Because if they don't, they're going to come after you. So I want to make sure he's insured. You should be. If you're in business, you should have some kind of general liability in case you trash something. And this is possibly the hardest one, verify experience. Unless you know someone and you trust them. I mean, y'all don't know Bob. Well, a lot of you do know Bob. Let me tell you, that's not a good example. Make sure whoever you're getting the information from is a trustworthy person and they know this contractor for a good period of time. You've done one job for me, that's nothing. I'm not giving a reference on a guy that did one job. Before I pick subs, it takes me about 1.5 to 2 years to actually work with subs. Because I will visit different jobs they're doing to make sure they're consistent. You know, and things you look for, well, what I look for is I go there and make sure they're neat. The place ain't a wreck, you know, it's just a mess. They're operating in disorder. So you want to make sure they're capable of doing what it is you want. A full rehab, I'm talking about gut everything, is a lot different than a $15,000 rehab. You ever notice a lot of wholesalers, I ain't beating up on you, not wholesalers in here, I know it's not them, but they'll tell you, oh, it needs about $15,000 in repairs. You better make sure it does, because $15,000 goes away quick.
So Eddie, would you check them out on the PPP? See how many, like, Better Business Bureau, see how many complaints they have?
No. We're gonna get to that in a minute. I don't buy the BBB. You know why? They protect me, the member. I don't like the BBB. That's my personal opinion, but we're gonna talk about the BBB. We got a slide coming up. But don't let them lie to you. You are the boss. You write the check. You ask me a question, I'm gonna tell you. It may not be what you want to hear, but I'm gonna tell you. But if you ask me for my license, there you go. What I got to hide? Now, if you ask a contractor, think about this. I'm coming to you for a job. Basically, you're gonna give me some money. You're gonna give me money, and I'm gonna trash talk you right out the gate. Next. No, Bob, I meant next slide. All right, this is real simple. I say I've got a builder's license, okay? Which, in my opinion, and this might be biased, you're doing rehabs, you want somebody that knows every system in that house. I don't want a guy that's pretending to be if you know that much, then you should have a license. But you're gonna go to the llr.sc.gov. That's the Labor License Regulating Board, all right? So you're gonna go there. Next, Bob. You're gonna go to right there, you see it? Licensee Lookup. And as you're in there, you're just gonna pan to it. So once you pick that, it's gonna take you to the next slide, Bob. You're gonna pick whatever he says he is. See here? Whatever they tell you they are, just find that on the list, click on it, and then it'll take you to the next one. Next one, Bob. Thank you, Bob. You'll put in the information. See, all you need is their name. Last name Sabina, first name Wade. People call me Eddie. Don't call me Wade. I hate that name. West Columbia. That's all you need. And say all. This way, I don't care what kind of life. I want to see everything you got. All covers everything. Well, see what it pops up, and it'll tell you. I'm active. Status, active. Home builder, home inspector. That tells you what my 2 licenses are. Now, there's a place where you can go to find adverse actions, which should be the next slide. See here? If you keep digging, it'll tell you if there's any actions. And that's important, because if you see a bunch of issues, first of all, why does he still have a license? But I don't want to hire him. But that's how simple. Just go to the LLR and just go there, and it's user friendly. You can talk. It'll simple question. Everybody with me so far? Yeah. All right. Next, Bob. This is what it comes down to. And I'm gonna show. Bob's wife Linda gave me some because she knows my mindset, and I've made it my mantra ever since. I actually put it on the back of my cards, and I don't care what people think, because it's true. Nobody wants to work for free. None of y'all do. Y'all here because you want to get paid. But on the back of that card it says, skilled labor isn't cheap. Cheap labor isn't skilled. And it's real true. So I'm gonna come, when I go to a job, I'll show up. Normally, it's because something went wrong, and I know something went wrong. You know why? Because when I show up, somebody been working here. It's obvious. And it's also obvious they didn't have a clue what they were doing. Because you got brand new floors down and they're painting ceilings. And you're like, what the heck? This is backward. Well, there's a reason why it's like that. You can cheat, fast, or right. I'm telling you right now, right is always a logical choice. If you call a guy up, Cynthia, you call this contractor up today, and he said he can start work tomorrow. What's your first thought?
Nothing else going on?
Yeah, oh, you ain't got nothing going. Go hard, yeah. That's a red flag. If it's Friday and you can be there Monday, no. Average contractor, 4 to 6 weeks out. That's for real. A good contractor that's going to keep you line up with a good contractor, he can't be there tomorrow or Monday or 4 to 6 weeks out on average, if not longer. And I'll tell you a little secret. I'm booked right now till August, but there are people we make exceptions for. You know why? Because we have a history. And I think, did you hit on that, Stacy? The history or the network, when you get to know people, the relationship. So we'll make exceptions. If Bob can call me any day of the week, and I'll be there literally tomorrow. Because me and Bob go way back. I knew Bob when he actually believed the gurus. And we had a lot of debates about that. So he's come around the right way of thinking. Fast, I'm telling you right now, fast. If your end buyer is the public, what happens when you put that house on the market? They're going to get an inspector. Hey, if they beat that house up, now what? Huh? And it will go on. If there's major issues, you're hit. So, cheap, Bob taught me this on value versus price. I'm not the cheapest guy. I don't want to be the cheapest guy. I know the cheapest guy. He always broke and he'll be there tomorrow. That ain't me. I don't want to be that guy. And contract. I put everything in writing. From what I will be doing in the job scope to what I won't be doing. What I'm responsible for and what you're responsible for. And most importantly, how I expect you to pay me. And then we're going to sign this thing or we don't do business. If you do business without a contract, then it's he said, she said, and it's a headache. So a good contract will take the time, a smart contractor, to draw a contract. Okay. Any questions? Okay, Bob, next. This is what you're in the business of risk management, right? You're buying a house, you're taking a risk. Right. The lender's giving you the money or taking a risk. They got the upper hand on the risk though, because they own the property, but everybody's taking a risk. And I hate to tell you this, 7 out of 10 contractors, if you ask them if they have a license, you know they're going to say faster than anything? Yeah. Yeah. And that's the end of the conversation, isn't it? Yeah. Wrong answer. What kind of license? Business license? Driver's license? No. You think it's fun, but hey, these jokers don't get a business license, and they'll try to show it to you, and if you don't understand this, I don't care if I got a business license that says Sabina Construction Company, that's a business license, which this dumb city will give you, even though you're not qualified, but that's another story. The license I'm talking about comes from the LLR. That's the license I want to see. I don't care if you got a business license. Are you qualified to even run that business? They're not bonded. They're not insured. And I've seen it happen. And when it happens, you may be one of the lucky ones, but you always hear about the person. They had some guy working, got hurt at their house. Now they're suing the people. So verify credentials. Look, this is most important. Who works for who? Yeah, so a good contractor, a half smart contractor understands the relationship. He who writes the check is the boss. At the end of the day. Now I can advise you if I don't agree with something you want to do, and I will say that, I will tell you that. But if you decide to continue, I'm going to oblige you. And then later, when it goes wrong, I'm going to say, I told you so. I am, I promise you. Look, I've done it. Don't put that one on me. You remember, yeah, I told you. This is why you should have listened. But all right, next. Pocket cards for your licenses. So if somebody wants to see mine, I got it in the truck. I keep it. That's why they give it to you. It's called a pocket card. It tells me your number. It tells you what I'm licensed home builder. home inspector, there's no doubt in your mind if I whip that license out what I'm licensed to do, is it? And this is the one I like because I can do anything under chapter, what? 59. Look up chapter 59. It says I can build a house from the ground up. Oh, they don't know me, no. All right, Bob, next. Oh, that's a bond. That is with the LLR. I don't keep I have a copy in my office. I don't have one in my car. The LLR, if you go to the LLR, the licensee lookup, and my bond is expired, it's going to tell me they're going to have a cease and desist on their actions because they won't let you operate. Yes?
How do you get to the LLR? What do you do?
LLR. If you just hit LLR, it'll take you straight to it. All right, so what we talking about? A license, a bond?
Insurance.
Ah, let's go to the insurance. This is how they get you. I'm going to go to AAA or Acme Insurance and get a policy. I'm going to give you the $200 down. You give me that, which has a beginning and an ending date. Right? So when you ask me if I have insurance and I show you that, what do you think? Sure. Maybe. But it's like car insurance. If I miss a payment, what happens to my car insurance? So you know what you do? You call this guy at this number and you ask him, is this person insured? You know what they're going to tell you? At this moment, he is currently insured. Because that's all they can legally tell you because I don't know next month. So when that month runs out, what I do? Call him again. Call again on the first. Hey, did he make his payment? And they'll say, at this time, he is still insured. Because I'm sorry, I got subs and I know some of them get insulted because I verify everything. And first of all, they get insulted, there's an issue. I mean, I'm just asking a simple question. Don't take it so personal. That they get personal, then I probably X him out. I don't use that guy. Because if he gets that upset over me verifying his insurance, forget him. Next, not you, Bob. But here it'll show you, you got commercial general liability. Can't read that one. But this is the one you want. And it tells you the numbers here. Now, unless some of y'all are buying properties that are over $1 million, I'm covered. All right, next, Bob.
Can I add something real quick, you mind? So I know that as the contractor, as the general contractor, you're gonna have that, right?
Yes.
And so unless your subs are on your payroll and you cover all of that for them, the homeowner also wants to make sure, verify with you, that your subs also are gonna have this, because they don't want those subs coming in either. So they wanna make sure you, because you aren't covering them. I know it's up to you as a good contractor to make sure you are bringing in those people who are insured, just like you. But not all contractors are gonna be good like you're gonna do it. So the homeowners need to make, my husband's a contractor too. So want to make sure that everybody is gonna be covered that's working in the house, because you don't want somebody working on the roof that isn't, that's coming in under you, they fall off, they break their leg, and then they go sue the homeowner.
This insurance company, they require that any sub working under me has me added as additional insured on their policy. That's a new thing they've been doing for a few years, and at first it was met with some resistance, but now it's the norm. So if you go, if I would have put up my roofer's certificate of liability under additional insured, where's my additional insured on here somewhere? I can't see it from here, it looks blurred, but there's a spot that says additional insured, and he puts me on his policy. My company won't cover them if I'm not on their policy as additional insured, which at first used to make me mad, because why do I have to be, if I'm going to be on there, then why do I need it? So insurance companies don't like to lose money. But a smart sub, a smart contractor is going to make sure everybody under him is, because if I brought him on, I'm liable. I ain't trying to get sued, I ain't trying to give him no money. All right, next. This is for real now. See, this is We talked about the Better Business. Imagine this, I went to a house, it was a flip house, and it was done poorly. You know what shoe molding is? Or not shoe molding, yeah, shoe molding. You know where it meets in the corner, on the corner? Those should be 45, correct? They just butted them. And they did other stuff, and I was like, I asked the guy, are you licensed? He said, I'm a GC. And I'm thinking, yeah, right, and I'm Santa Claus. I checked him out, he's a GC.
I've seen people do crown molding like that.
I've seen people do crown molding upside down too.
Yeah.
But, okay, I'm thinking, this is basic stuff I'm looking at, and it's wrong. I mean, the whole house is wrong, and I'm walking out, I said, there ain't no way.
Yeah.
This man is a GC, I'm going to tithe 20%. I'm not tithing 20% because he's a GC. I said, I looked up his website, and he's active, no complaints. No complaints. And it says on their company goal, to serve our client with purpose and character that honors God. I believe in God. I'll let you know that right now. And I don't advertise that because I don't need to say that if I do. My work should reflect it. That's on that. No more said on that. But I don't care for people who talk the little fish and then you're going to do something. You really going to make me mad. His BBD rating is an A+. Wow, looks good. Years in business, 11. Staff is professional, qualified, skilled, and experienced. I no longer associate with the real estate agent in this because I told the real estate, you need to tell that the buyer, this is wrong. This is all wrong. Everything in this house is wrong. Well, he is licensed. I don't care. This is wrong. No, she had to make the sale. Hey, I can get rid of real estate agents just like they can get rid of me. I fire people too. I don't really, no, because I already see you about the dollar. I asked this man twice, because he did a lot of structural, and it was wrong. He removed the load-bearing wall. When you remove a load-bearing wall, you put up an LVL. You see that big thing back there? That's an LVL. There's one back there. But here's what, this is what somebody who doesn't know what they're doing does. We're going to make a new stress point there, a new load point there, and a new load point here. And we're going to put some 2x4s here stacked up, and that's where it's going to end. Now this beam carries all this weight transferred to those 2 points. Guess what he didn't do? He didn't put piers underneath. So I'm like, but I asked this guy, okay, did you pull a permit on this? Because if he did, well, guess what? If you pull a permit, guess who's going to come inspect it before, and you have to get a proceed certificate. I ain't see one permit, I ain't see one proceed certificate on anything. But he assured me twice that he did. Okay. No, I called Lexington County. I said, has any permits been pulled on it? They said, never, ever. Next. And I asked him, so you know what? You better get to know somebody. And I won't put his name out there, although I really want to, but I'm not going to do that. Because I'm a bigger man than that, you know? But I'm saying you can't trust, don't trust me till you get to know me. You know, I got a few people in here that will vouch for me. And when you get a few people to vouch for you, I'm more apt to say, okay, I'll try this person. All right? All right, next. I love that. That's me. We'll get that on my truck. That keeps all the low ballers away. Because they already know what I want. A fair price. I ain't trying to get rich off you. And anybody who I've worked for in here will tell you I'm fair. And I do the job right. But I ain't doing it for free. And I don't start a relationship doing favors. You know, hey, can you do me a favor? No, you do me a favor. Give me $100. I'm not doing you a favor. We just met. That ain't happening. But Bob's wife gave me this because I'm always talking about I don't want to be the cheap guy. And that's on the back of my cars now. Some people say, man, you might scare people away. That's the whole thing. I do want to scare people. Go away. If you want it done right, call me. And don't get me wrong. I mean, I'll work for anybody at any budget, and I will give you what that budget. You know, what you get what you paid for. I'm not going to cheat you. We don't cut corners either. And if you ask me to cut a corner, I'm going to tell you that's not happening because I pull permits. And if I cut a corner, I guarantee when that board comes and has me up there, John's gonna say, I ain't never said that to him. I don't know what he was doing. You gonna hand me out to dry at the last minute. That's what I think. But next, this is real simple. This is for people who want to learn how to flip. This is gonna, if you see your contractor putting down new flooring, and then a week later they're doing sheetrock work, what's your first thing to do? Hire. He just ruined everything.
What kind of flooring? Some of this stuff is like Legos.
It doesn't matter what kind of flooring. But anyway,
I can't do none of it, so I ain't playing.
Think of it as you're cooking breakfast. You can look at a house and you know in your mind it's common sense. It's ought to be called the common sense method, such a critical path method. But you do certain things in a certain order. Some things are done almost simultaneously or they overlap each other. But you can't just start anywhere. You have to think about it. I've gone to jobs and Bob's been with me. Even Bob's shaking his head. You know that's bad when he goes in there. Bob's like, oh my God, Eddie. I said, yeah, exactly. But you have to figure the best. You got maybe a 6-month period, and you want to be in and out of that house. You don't want to work backward or harder, because if you have to run this guy off, or if he disappears after you gave him money, now you got to bring somebody else in, and they might say, man, this is all backward. I got to charge you to undo what he did. Yeah. So you see, you want to make sure the guy can get you through this. I'm a 203K approved contractor. There's 203K consultants out here, and the only way you can get on that list, you got to go through a whole process. They want to make sure the 203Ks, we do $100,000 contract. These people buy a home, they borrow the money for it. We work with a consultant for the bank, and it's basically like I'm the builder for this house, but because they know that you know how to get through this house. See, so if you got a guy that's a builder and he's 203K, or that's a good guy to have, because he's been verified by the banks, and the banks are a pain in the butt when they verify. I know, but I'm glad, because I get calls to do the 203Ks, and those are pretty good. And you take a gutted out house. A lot of people are doing 203K loans, realtors, if I got some realtors in here, because they're finding houses that they would like, but they're so outdated, so now they get a 203K, and the bank says, okay, here's your consultant. I even have a list of 2 or 3 consultants if you realtors want them. And they'll walk you through it, and they come up with an after repair value. After you put, let's say, marble here, you upgrade the bathrooms. I mean, there's endless possibilities with 203Ks. But that's more, I think, for the realtor side of the house. But let's get back to this. Just think about when you walk in that house, if I've got a small rehab, and maybe we're going to do some carpet and painting, and you might look up and get some general cleaning. Look, I've seen people get those. Well, if you're going to replace all the flooring, do all the painting and everything, let the floors go last. Doesn't that make sense? Yeah. Think about a breakfast. Okay. The next slide shows you how you can have overlapping. See, while this is going on towards the end, we can start this one. This one overlaps. These two kind of overlap. This one overlaps, see? Because some things happen at the same time. But you just have to think about how you're going to do it. If I'm gutting a house, do I want to start putting up sheetrock before we've done plumbing? You know, I know a guy did that. They gutted all the plumbing.
They had to cut the sheetrock.
Heck yeah, and I'm like, I said, dude, you should have did the plumbing before. But here's the catch. Well, the sheetrockers had to get in this week. Well, guess what? The plumber's going to charge you extra now. Because the deal was the walls, and you should have had, you're not even supposed to put up sheetrock till you have an inspection. Yeah. So that told me they didn't pull permits. You know what I do? I'll leave that job. I'm done. Oh, I'm not touching this with a 10-foot pole. Okay, so we understand that. Next. Numbers that will keep you out of trouble. We're going to talk about those numbers. And this is where I sound like a sales pitch. We're going to talk mainly while we're going through these houses. But I'm sure you guys know this. You can get carpeting as low as $1. right?
Yes.
Per square foot, $1 easy. I mean, the prices vary. My safe numbers on flooring, somewhere between, for all flooring, even carpet, $3 to $5 should cover everything. That's installation and everything, depending on what you get, $3 to $5. And that's an accurate number. Because if I buy LVPs at $1.50 a square foot, we can get them installed for anywhere from $1.50 to $2. The smaller the job, guess what happens to the price? Goes up. Because I'm gonna burn the whole day there. But 3 to 5 doors. You want to know what door prices are? Start shopping Lowe's. If you set up all your numbers to Lowe's prices, when you start going to the supply home, Steer Supply, Oswald, contract yards, you don't buy at Lowe's. You're paying twice as much. But you can get doors for 90 bucks pre-hung. You just slap them together. Nice hollow core doors, put them in. So they vary. Windows, Bob knows this answer. Okay, give me a standard price for replacement window and installation. What do you think is a fair price? That's the magic number, see?
What was that number?
300. You're safe, and you hope to come under it. When I give safe numbers, when I come up with the budget, I'm gonna tell you why I do this. Because I ain't trying to look bad. Because you're gonna say, you said you could do it for $12,000 and this is $68,000. I said, well, I missed it. It was an estimate, you know, a ballpark. I didn't know the whole flooring system was bad. I didn't know. I was only in there 15 minutes. You ever calculate this in 15 minutes? Do I look like the Rain Man of remodeling? No, it's your house, honey. And unless you pay me, I'm done. Have anybody ever had that happen to them? Well, it's happened. I've seen people. And then there's the other aspect where people feed them money, so they finish the house, and that don't work well either. Once the work is not where it should be, don't pay them. Don't. Cabinets, vanities will vary on the location of the house. And we're going to talk more about that on the 22nd. See, that's the hook. Members, did you say it was free for members? Oh, pay me, no, just kidding. I'm just kidding. I volunteered with Bob to do this because we want to help you. And that's why I do this. I don't get anything. I don't want anything. I've told that to Bob. Bob's passionate about helping you guys. He wants people to succeed. There's a reason why only 3% are successful. I will meet you. Now, I will tell you this. I ain't going up there for free. I ain't going shopping with you. I'm going to be honest. Nothing's free. It takes me gas and time if I want to come look at a job that you want to possibly look at a house. But I promise you, I will go through that house with you. I'll be there an hour and a half maybe. Crandon, he uses me quite a bit. I just had the pleasure of Jay and his wife using me, and Ted Perry, and I hope I was worth the investment because I will find stuff most people don't. I rarely miss stuff, to be honest with you. That's why realtors don't like me. Because I blow sales from them. They're like, man, you just scared the guy away. The house is rotten. All right, next.
At least the things you find are real.
Yeah.
They don't want to hear that. The realtor wants to make a sale. No, yeah, I don't do that. Ted, can I share this?
I got to break a spigot on my house, and he's like, your spigot's broken. Well, it broke yesterday.
I went to look at a property for Ted, and I probably spent more time underneath than I did up top. And that place, oh my God, even the owner was like, man, it was that bad. Because you know what you get for free? You ain't gonna get the guy that's gonna crawl up under there. They ain't gonna die for free. And they'll say, well, you know, I didn't crawl up under the house. I didn't know you needed another, $10,000 to fix the floor. So now what do you do? So see, this is I hate to say, a typical contractor comes in and watch him, man. No tape measure, no nothing. He'll walk in, shaking his head. You're talking, he's just, yeah, okay. Then you'll say, so what do you think? Well, 15,000. I'm like, man, he's good. He just walked around for 15 minutes and he came up just like that. No, I got moisture meters. I mean, I go, but I'm gonna do darn hard. I think I should charge more, but I don't. I think I charge fair. Do you think I charge fair, fellas? Yeah. Because I want to make sure I don't care if you're buying it as is, that doesn't matter. You still need to know how each system of that house is holding up. Roofing system, flooring system are important. And most of the times in abandoned houses, termites, moisture. We had a house, it was so bad, I didn't see it for the guy before he bought it either, so that was on him. But he called me over, I went over there, he was all excited, and the first thing I knew, I said, darn, these floors are spongy. I said, do you notice that? And he had said it was a $30,000 budget at the time. I said, and I come walk, I said, how'd you come up with your budget? He said, well, this guy came over here, and he was from somewhere, I'm not going to mention the company, and he said he kind of looked around and he said, oh, about 30,000. I said, really? What about the floor? I went up underneath, we're going to see the floor here. I literally went underneath and just ripped a piece of the 2x8. And the guy was like, he got sick, I could see his face. He said, what do you think about it? $1,000? I said, yeah, right. I said, forget that. I said, your budget is out the window. Next. Well, this is the walk around. You know, when you look at a property, we've done this before. Anybody who's come up, it's the same. Look at it the same way every time. If you do it the same way, it becomes like instant. You know exactly what you're looking for. I walk around. The first thing I look at is their curb appeal. I'll start walking. As I'm walking, I'm looking at the roof from all angles, the fascia, the soffit, the walls, whether they're brick or stuck or whatever. I'm looking to see if there's signs of settlement. So I walk around. Attic crawl space are a must. This is funny. You want to hear how bad luck is bad? The same guy, the guy didn't go up in the roof. The roof was shot. But they didn't have an air conditioner working, so it was real hot up in the attic. Hot for years. It literally cooked the roof deck. When you stepped on it, it would crumble. So guess what else he needed? I said, well, your budget is shrinking. I said, we and I got argued for a long time. I said, dude, it's not you. I'm just telling you. You should have called me before you bought this darn thing. But so I always go in the attic crawl space. You gotta look in the attic. You gotta look in the crawl space. When we do these little workshops, we literally go up there. If you don't know what the roof deck looks like, you may not want to crawl up on the roof, but do you ever think if you go from underneath, you can see if water's been coming in. The bottom of that roof will tell you a lot. So always look at the roof deck. Age of the home is important to know. You have lead, asbestos, cast iron pipes, plumbing. Plumbing will get you just like electrical. But we'll talk about that inside. All right, next, Bob. And I'm trying to rush through these. This was a house we went and looked at. This is the driveway. It stops right here, like this. See where the dirt pile and grown grass? We call that a water trap. Because you know what brick ain't? Waterproof. Next, Bob. That's the inside corner of that house. You see that? The water's coming in, keep going. Termites. See them? Because termites love moist dirt. Moist wood. All right, Bob, next. Well, that water pressure. Okay, they say anything after 80 from a home inspector's point of view or a plumber's is too much water pressure. You're supposed to be at 80 or below. If it's above 80, they want you to put in what they call a reducing valve. And I kind of agree with them, but I'm not sure I do 100%. But they're claiming anything after 80 will damage the piping and the fixtures because they're not designed to withstand more than 80 pounds of pressure. So I'll do a water test, make sure the plumbing, if it's good. Me personally, I wouldn't worry about that. I'll tell you, I just leave it alone, let the home inspector catch it at the end. If he does, you slap a Most of the times, most home inspectors don't even check that. I've seen many of them, they don't even check. They just turn on a valve. If it looks good, they say, okay, it looks fine. All right, next. Ha! That's a jackleg roof. That's a new roof. What's wrong with that picture? Wow. This is a new roof. What? This is the chimney here. And apparently they did some kind of repair here. That looks like a piece of siding or something. But when he put the roof, why didn't he fix that? I'll tell you why, because he knew the homeowner wasn't crawling up in the attic. And it's gonna leak. When I showed that to the homeowner, they were mad. And when I found out how much they charged, I was mad. I done did it for about $1,000 less, and we fixed that. But next, 21.9, this is underneath. 18 and above, you're in trouble, too much moisture. You won't, if you're selling it, if your end goal is to sell that house to the public, it's got to be 18 and below. 18, they require, CO 100 will require that you have a moisture barrier. So when you're under a house, and I don't know how many will actually get under that. It doesn't hurt to go under there. I know a lot of people don't mind going under. Just take a little moisture meter. They cost like $30 at Lowe's. And you want to start sticking it so if it looks wet, stick it. It'll read it. What's next? Footing issue. This house, a lot of water coming in. The grade on this house comes in. And you can see the penetration of the water. The water here, this is a hole. You can't see it, but this thing goes down where the water's coming in and draining and just washing away the footing. But this is why they were having trouble upstairs. The load comes down from the top of the roof to the sides, all the way down, it's transferred. Footings are holding up the whole house. When you start doing this to the front, but if you don't go into the house, you don't see that. But a sign that you need to go into the house is when you see a lot of settlement cracks, or when you're inside, me and Crandon were in the house. What was it? It was so, as soon as I walked in, I said, man, it went straight down. And when I told him to take a 4-foot level, because sometimes you don't see the difference on a long span. He put that thing down and you could see it dropped in what was that, 3-foot level? It dropped about 2 inches. But he said the whole underneath the house was shot. Next, Bob. I love this one. It's nice and clean under there. See that? And if you need water, you got water under there. Like there ain't enough already. But this is what's underneath the crawl space. I think this belonged to somebody I know in here. It is from somebody in there. Was that? I ain't going. Next. Wow, I like that. Look at that. That's all underneath. And notice this is what's dangerous. This is wet. See that? That's moist. Wet. Like that plumbing. Look at that. It's building pressure to go up, I think. I don't know. But you're going to try to sell that house as a flip? If I'm the home inspector, I'm going to require you to clean it. It ain't cheap to clean one of those. Especially when you got a window to clean it, you're going to lose a sale. Because now you're in a bind, right? You got to get it done. You don't just stand there, well, if you need it done, but it's going to cost you. I got to drop everything else. That's what they'll tell you. But next, look at that. Vapor barrier. Lovely. Only it's right here, nowhere else. Next. You can take old wood and just by applying this cleaner to it and just lightly pressure wash it. People make a habit, they take a pressure washer and then they chew this up and it looks like garbage. You ever see that? You ever hire someone and they do that to your house? I'd be mad because you just ruined the wood. It doesn't take a lot of pressure. That's why we have chemicals. That's what got me through the 70s. No, just kidding. Next. Window rot. Okay, this is ingenious here. You know what this is? Piece of brick mold, right? This is a windowsill. It goes like this. And they put a brick mold here. You know why? To hold water. Because that's exactly what they did. What they were thinking, I don't know. I'm lost in that one. Next. Settlement issues. This all stems, when you look around windows and you see the movement up top, it always goes from the bottom. It's a sign you need to go underneath. When you see gaps and you see windows that don't want to go up and down, when you see doors that don't want to close, you ever go in a house and you look at a door and it's cut so crooked because that's the only way it'll close? Settlement.
Now, every house don't have a crawl space.
No.
Most of it has slab. So, in that instance, you got slab that's cracked.
Well, I may have a picture. When you have a slab homes are normally easier to work with. But we just left one that right down, who was that with? Oh, I'm trying to mean to point you out. But the whole side of this house went down, and we were like, okay, we pulled up the carpet, and there it was. Well, then you got to call a foundation company to raise it back up, because in some cases you can't do nothing but raise it because it's not going to pass. Termites can also get in through cracks. People think they can't. Oh yeah, we went to a house one day. The guy said, I think I had a termite problem. So we go over there and he showed me the front door and I'm like, wow, this is bad. Like, you think? He goes, no, there's more. I said, what? We walk into the kitchen, he's showing me the door casings, and I was like, oh my God, when did you first notice it? He said, a few years ago. Then he wanted to know if I could help him because his insurance wouldn't cover it. I said, what do you want me to do? Well, if you could fix it, then I'd pay you. You didn't pay your insurance company or whatever? No, his whole house was eaten because he was on a slab. If it's a small crack, they make an epoxy that you can fit in there, and it literally bonds it together. It's a system, and if you touch bases with me, I can get that information because it literally holds those two together. You put it in there, you cover it, you put these tubes out, you squeeze it in there, the epoxy comes up and it bonds it so it doesn't shift on you anymore. But it's like anything else. If it's from a wash, where all the water's coming down, it's washed out, there's underneath, it's pulled the sand out from under that house, the mere load from the house pushing on that corner is going to crack it. All right, Bob, that's it. Go back a minute. Water gets in through here. This is a window, okay? If water's getting into here, what do you think it's doing? It's going down the walls. It's going down to your sills. Sill work costs on average $200 a linear foot. That's what they're going to charge you if they come in to fix it. So if you got a 10-foot section that's been damaged, they're not going to cut you a break because it's hard work. You got to be under the house. But you look for this. If you see this in the house, your first thought should be, we're going to see if there's water damage. If it's a crawl space, get up under there. Next, Bob. They tried to mask this. And I'd shoot the painter that did this. Because I tell you, right behind here and right behind there, you would just stick your finger. And they thought you'd miss that. You know, you got to be blind not to see that. I mean, even through it, look at this. And then they put a little piece here, a little piece here. Gosh, more entry points for water. All right, next. This was fun. This is a chimney chase. All the way up the top, water's coming in through. Inside, there's more damage. See, you can only, this is like water damage is something you take very seriously. When you see that much damage on the outside, I'm telling you, there's 3 times more on the inside. All right, next. That's up top on the same place. See the flashing's gone off? And it's all getting in there. Under leaves. Leaves are dangerous on the roof. Next. That's that same house. That piece, I poked a hole in it, but God, it's ridiculous. I mean, come on now. Next. Underneath our look at this thing. That water's coming. Look at that. Sooner or later, that footing's going to give. It's just a matter of time. And I was amazed at the size of this hole. I was looking for Jimmy Hoffa. But that just scared me. When you see this efflorescence, this is a lot of moisture in the bricks. And I think I have another picture. When you see white bricks on the inside of a crawl space, they've had a lot of moisture. And bricks, believe it or not, get mushy. So in time, they'll crush. All right, next. Lovely floor. This is what they call a rat sill. So it's about a 2x2 little piece, and they notch your joist in the crawl space to sit on it. They call it, I don't know, it used to be that rats would sit up on it, and that's where the name, the rat sill. But there was a leak upstairs over the years, and it would just drip, and that's what happens. Next. That's a different view. But you won't get a CL 100 with that. You're going to have to repair that. For a guy to come in, that's sill, man. And if you see it on this side, this is a double. He's going to more than likely have to repair the other one. And when you call these guys to fix sill work, they're going to create work. They're going to come out here with a fat check for you. It's obvious this was not supporting itself anymore because Rocket Man here did this. Which, you had to be blind not to see that. That's not even a good... Next. That's the floor where I walked in there and the first thing I thought, this is kind of bouncy. And he said, yeah, we felt that. Is that bad? I was like, man. Oh, he said, is that, next. Why don't we start the demo? This is on a grade. Up here they got bushes. All the vents, the foundation vents, were sealed. They broke a hole here on this side to put a new air conditioning system in, and the refrigerant tube, which the condensate on that is always dripping, kept water under there. No air, a lot of water. This is where I went down, and this is later, but I went down and grabbed the piece here, just ripped it and brought it up and showed him. I wish I would have had a camera because his face, he got sick. He needed Pepto-Bismol. All right, next. And this is, okay, go back a minute. This is hardwood flooring. Here's the budget. Just refinish the floors. That was a good plan. It would have worked. Except the subfloor was shot and the joist was shot. All right, next. Look at those. See them? How are you going to get that past an inspector who goes underneath? Next. That's what we had to do. That's a major damage. Now, mind you, see, this is all new. We're supporting all of this. This is not easy work. You better know what you're doing, because if you don't, you remove the pressure or this support at the wrong time and don't have it support, so this is going to come down. I promise you. It will come down.
That's a guard down?
Hush. Me and that flipper have become good friends because we used to argue all the time. I used to tell him, it's a flip. He says, he had a vision, which was nice. But finally, at the end of the job, he said, I now know what you mean when you used to tell me it's a flip.
Well, no money left in.
Yeah, so I used to tell him, at some point, the budget's going to dictate what you can do, so forget about all that other stuff. All right, next. See that? Shower. That tells me the pan's bad. That means whatever's up that shower, that got to come out. The inspector's not going to miss that. Next. More. This is why I like to go underneath houses. Because I always find stuff. I really like finding stuff under there because, A, you'll get a better deal. Because pictures don't lie, people do. But when I come up and I give you all these pictures, you show that guy and say, look, you want how much for this house? You can't argue with pictures. So you want pictures, and I take pictures of everything and bring them back and give them to you. So, next. Look at that. That's the rat sill gone. You see all this? All this is collapsing upstairs. It was a mess. Water damage. Next. That's how, believe it or not, that bathroom looked like up top. So looks can be deceiving, can't they? So when people say, oh, no, I walked up there, I said, but did you look underneath? Underneath it looked good. Next. Well, and there it is again. That's a toilet. And see, it's leaking. Next. I'd say something was ripping the insulation off that. And you see these holes all through here? You see them? There's a bunch of other powder post beetles. There's a picture back there of what they do. And the other piece of paper back there, they ain't termites. Them a carpenter ant tunnels. All right, next. That's a mess. See that? That's underneath the house. You're gonna have to replace most of this. HVAC guy, you're either gonna wrap it yourself, which that's not an easy task. Most HVAC guys now are not using this system. They're using this flexible stuff. So they're gonna tell you, you gotta rip it out, because that other stuff's easier to work with. They're not using these systems anymore. Next. That's old. You could tell by the paper on that thing was old. Next. Yeah, because see that was burnt up, right? A VA appraiser looked at this house and told the lady the unit was good and all this, so she bought it. Well, first of all, he didn't turn that unit on because you know what else was wrong with this unit? The disconnect was cut off. The wire didn't even go to the connect. So I said, you need to call the VA and tell them their appraiser was full of it because there's no way he tested that unit. And it burnt up before that anyway. That's probably why they cut the darn. But this is a VA appraiser that came out. When you get a VA loan, the guy from the VA comes out. I promise you, he's an inspector that couldn't get a real job, so he went to work for the government. I'd argue I'd have got a lawyer because there's no way. All right, next. Yeah, that unit was shot. And he said he ran the unit. She had to get a new unit, of course. But I told her I'd argue. I gave her my report. I said I'd argue that one because there's no, and it's been like that for a long time. Next, this is really bad here. See this? You see all this falling insulation? What do you think weighs it down? Moisture. That place was a mess. One thing, when you crawl up under these houses, wear a mask. Do not go under there without a mask. All right, next. Oh, man. You want to hear the funny part? That meter only goes to 50. I might as well stick in a bucket of water, it's going to reach 50. Does it look really wet though?
It looked like it was wet and got dry.
Yeah, but look can be deceived. That's why I say test, test, test. All right, next. Shingles. There's your 3-tab, right? We all know what a 3-tab is now, right? We all know what architectural shingles are, right? All right. Granular loss is, I'd replace that ceiling. It probably has a few more years of life in it. But me, if that was my house and I was buying it, that's part of the repair done. You're going to redo that roof. Those are 3-tab shingles do not last 20 years. They tell you that under optimum circumstances. We don't live under optimum circumstances. Next. Leaves were here. And when you move the leaves, this is what you had underneath. Apparently when leaves and pine needles are decomposing, they start eating away at your roof. Keep going. Next. More. I also like to get on roofs because you need to see what's on top as well as underneath. Next. That's another roof job. And look, this is new.
Sure.
Okay. You know what roofers know? You ain't going to go check.
You don't know me.
Yeah. Most people don't. Just like, okay, people have joist work done by, I don't care, Clark's or what's that other become modern underneath. I've never heard one client go down there and look at the work. The guy comes out, gives them a bill, they pay.
Excuse me. So like, if somebody did that, and I did go in there, they didn't expect you to go in there, and then you did, and you found out they did that, what would you do? What would you do? Like, would you
I call the owner of the company. But see, here's the bad news. If you call some jackleg company,
yeah, of course, they're not going to really,
they're not going to come back. And what you going to do? And this is not the real bad spot. Look at this. But they just put the paper over it. At least they put the flashing up. Next, Bob. That's where leaves were sitting. And I tell you what happened, I think squirrels started using it to get in the attic. This house was full of what they call generational squirrels. I never heard the term. They had a lot of squirrels in that house, in the house. Next, boss. And that's where the leaves were sitting on top of this area. I swear the guy told me they were generational squirrels. And he said those were the hardest to get rid of. That's why I looked at the homeowner and said, he's going to charge you a lot of money. Next. You see that? Water is shooting through here, and there's like a little valley. So you know what I want to do? Go up in the attic. Okay, next. Man, we know there's an issue. These guys are no choice. I don't like dishes on roofs. The guys slapping them up, they just want to get them up there and get going. The satellite companies don't pay them guys enough to do a good job. Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. But you got to be careful because a lot of manufacturers, if you had a new roof, you void the warranty when you do this. Next. This is why I say check, check, check. This was supposed to be a simple roof job. Okay. Well, guess what? They put shingles over cedar shakes. So I told her, I said, you said it was a simple roof job, just one layer. I said, yeah, there's one layer up here, but you got a whole bunch of cedar shakes under it. He didn't know that. So we left because he didn't want to pay us to do it right. That's fine. We didn't want to do it. Next. Damage. You got to get up top to see this. This is your fascia board. Now water is getting in here, and your soffit will be ate up in there. Now hopefully the water isn't traveling this way and coming down your walls, because you won't see a lot of that damage. That's the problem with water damage. You don't see unless you know what to look for. You don't know where to look. All right, next. Oh, we're getting to the end. Saturday, June 22nd, time early. It ain't gonna be late. Location to be determined. Early, what time is early, Bob? Okay, let me ask you this. What's too early for some of y'all? 3 a.m. It won't be that early. Now, we're on about 8:30. Because it takes, the last time we spent, what, about 3-4 hours over there? And we go through a house, and it's one thing to see pictures, but when you go through a house, and you can actually put your hands on it, you can even smell it. I'm even sure what to look for tell signs of termites. You can tell if you've got termites. There's a way to look. Yeah.
How often will y'all be doing these home inspections?
What we doing? We did one last year? Probably annual.
So just once a year?
From what I think so. I mean, I do it, if there's a demand, we'll always do it. I'm sure Bob will do it, and I don't mind taking a Saturday to do it. But what's next, Bob? Oh, thanks for your attention. What's after that? Anything after that one, Bob? No. Okay, well, hey, that's all I got.
Okay, again, if members have first crack at this. Now, for members, it is free. Now, if you sign up for this, please go or let me know well in advance that you're not going, because if you sign up and don't show up, you're depriving someone else who could have gone on this house thing, okay? So if you could, please see, Dean Louise, is it okay if I direct them to you? And, June 22nd, and probably about 8:30ish, 9ish, you know. It's on.
If you're not a member, it's $40.
Yeah, if you're not a member, it's $40, okay, and that goes directly to you, okay? So, thanks again for coming. If you have any questions, don't forget, Kevin's going to stick around back here and give us some of his expertise, because I know I'm
Thanks, man. Sure.
Hopefully, some of those numbers right. wholesaler right now, but I got my mind on doing a flip deal. I want to come in and flip this shit. I've been looking for a property. Looking for stuff where the numbers work out. You know what? Just go. He keeps them legal. Make sure your bills stay within the law. That's definitely. You probably got a card. Probably get one of his cards and leave.
I guess gonna make me think that I took that sort of every day, you know?
Yeah, you just gotta stay consistent in doing something. That's kind of where I fall in something like, especially like doing my marketing. I do good for about 2 weeks and hell, I take 2 weeks off and it's kind of hard to keep that momentum going when you stop. So doing it just consistently do it every week.
Yeah, there's a few, I guess, techniques that really been choosing this very easy to you can sacrifice
Just gotta sort through all of it and pick, what works for you. Not right now. I got some appointments coming up.